I just got a curiosity about your tattoos. Can we talk about them?
Yeah, sure. You just want me to
Yeah.
go? Okay.
Which ones? How many do you have?
This was the first one.
Phil for you.
I think I have 5. When I took my daughter Joanne to get her first bank account, the woman's name on the little thing on her desk was Agape. And I thought, that's a cool word. I've heard that
Agape
word.
is the Greek love. It's a friendship love, right?
Nope, that's philia.
Okay.
Agape is the highest form of love. Man's love for his fellow man or God's love for man.
Okay.
Okay.
Is agape.
Yeah, that's agape. And I became intrigued with the word. I thought about it. I just loved that word. And then I fell in with a bunch of crazy Christians for a while. And so I started looking at the New Testament written in the original Greek and trying to parse some shit out of it.
Oh my God.
It was so much fun.
Damn.
And so I was like, I was working with this band that had a lot of tattoos. I was like, I should get agape tattooed on me. I like the idea of having a word.
Yeah.
On me. There's a word.
Yeah.
And it's kind of mystical and has a good, I can tell people what it is. So after a lot of thinking, I decided to go get it. I wanted to have it here so I could see it.
Yeah.
And I went, and Christy came with me, my wife. And
That's agape. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Where's the G?
This is it.
That's a G.
That's the Greek G. Gamma. Yeah.
Agape.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No one would ever decipher that.
Well, this is so great. So I get it. It's my first tattoo. I'm like 50 years old or something. So it's like it's kind of funny I've waited that long, and maybe even younger than that. And I go to this party, and this super drunk dude goes like, "Dude, you've got Aryan tattooed on your arm." And I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, it kind of does look like Aryan."
If you're trash, maybe.
So, well, here the deal was that it was my hubris moment. I was so proud, to like put this amazing, cool thing that's going to help people understand me or whatever. And it was immediately misunderstood as one of the worst things it could possibly be.
Yeah.
But over the years, I've it's turned into a great story. Overwhelmingly, the people that ask me about this tattoo are checkout women at grocery stores. Don't know what the deal is, but I'm probably somewhere around 4 to 3 to 1 ratio. The people that would just comment on it. That's cool.
Check
What's
out
that?
ladies. Yeah.
I was checked out by the checkout lady.
You were
There's
always
just a lot of certain symmetry for that.
perpetually.
So that was the first one. The second one was 2. Was this symbol here?
What does that symbol mean?
Okay, so I'm into fountain pens, and I'm drawing some shit with a fountain pen that kind of flexes, and I draw this kind of loop-de-loop, and I put a cross on the bottom and an arrow on the thing over here, and I was like, that's cool. It's sort of like the archetypal combination of anima and animus, the male and the female, it's really cool. And so I started drawing it all the time until I refined it, and then my heart sank because it was like, dude, you didn't come up with this. Like that's...
You didn't?
No. I'm thinking I must have seen it.
Yeah.
I reverse Google searched it, and son of a fucking bitch, nothing came back.
You did come up with it.
I did come up with it.
Yeah.
At least as far as me and Google are concerned. And to me, I was involved in a friendship at the time where it was really taking me to some interesting places of like feeling my own sense of masculinity and femininity.
Yeah.
And this is not, I'm not talking sort of around something that was weird and sexual or something like that. It was not that at all. But it was a very spiritual thing. And I thought, I'm going to get that fucking thing tattooed on me.
Heck yeah.
So I had played with for years of like other words, and I've always been intrigued by the end of the song, The End by the Beatles on Abbey Road. The last lyrics, the last song that they performed together at the same time. And the lyrics ostensibly, if you want to go just by releases and stuff, it was one of the last things that they wrote together. And so I got the last verse, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. Because it always it hit me.
In the end,
The love you take is equal to the love you make.
Yeah. Oh, we can't do it too close to. You can't do the whole thing. I can't pay for this. I can't pay for this release. The Beatles do not give you a.
That was a horrible rendition. but yeah, so I did the wings.
Nice.
And
for when you have the gun show.
Yeah, which for me is never. But I had the reason I decided this. The reason I decided this place is I had this patient during COVID. Never was in the same room with him ever. Treated him for about 2 years, and the dude was. I can't give a lot of identifying information, but he was somebody who was in the education system, working as a professional, and he was literary. And one day, after I've been working with him for about 1.5 years, he's on the screen. He's like, "It's back here," and he's got words all up and down here that up until that point I had never seen. Never, and I was intrigued. Yeah. I never asked him about it because I didn't want to. My curiosity to open up the wrong kind of space between us. And so, but I thought, if I get another tattoo, it's going to be So that was
influenced.
That. Yeah.
Okay.
So
next one.
The next one is, oh God, this is so weird. I can't remember if these two were at the same time or not, but I was involved in a creative relationship with somebody where the words recipro became shorthand for us of like we're seeing things the same way. Reciprocate,
yeah.
And so it became part of a message shorthand, talking, working together shorthand, and then somehow we fucked it up, or I did at some point because I'm dyslexic, and I started to say, what was it? Respiro.
You forgot. You forgot.
It's just like for my test. I can remember for the test. I have my algorithm.
Respiro.
And we were, and so this person, all I'm thinking of is like in the mental health word, Respirodol. It's a pretty heavy fucking antipsychotic drug. And Recipro and Respirodol kind of like went together for some reason. And so this person and I got this is my handwriting.
What does it say?
Recipro, which now I think of it. Recipro. It's like a Harry Potter like spell.
It's a spell.
So anyway, it keeps me connected to this person, which is great. And then finally,
SK1, baby.
The SK1 logo off of the Casio SK1 keyboard, which thanks to my original, it turns out I found a picture of my best friend holding my SK1 in my home in the 1980s. I had no idea, but I still had it. I thought he went back that far. And Kevin Ryan was doing production work with me, and he was a brilliant arranger producer. And he's like, "This is going to sound so cool." And he gets a SK1 and he sings into it and he starts playing the notes, and it sounded unbelievable because it's the 8-bit version of your voice.
Yeah,
I found that my voice sounds really good through an SK1 and mid-range type stuff, and so I just started adding it to all my productions, and I loved it. It was so much fun. It was playful. I didn't have to be a master at it. My right and left brain glitch only made it better. And I became the guy that always had some SK1s. Well, and then like it caught fire as we in the studio, the various people that worked there and sort of were all up in each other's lives. Lee started circuit bending SK1s.
Yeah.
You started playing.
I was circuit. Yeah, we were both doing that.
And then Alan, who became a later member, was circuit bending, speaking spells and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we came together and we had a band of
SK1 project.
SK1 project.
And Heba.
Yeah, Heba. Oh my God. And we took it fairly seriously. We played some shows.
Dude, we got some good stuff.
We did.
Those I have SK1 that's glitched out in the utility room and the Speaking's math and the Speaking. They're all on the wall in there.
I'll
show you
so many. I have a lot of SK1s. I have a one table bend SK1 that's really beautiful. And I love small keyboards. I love things with very few choices and that are ephemeral.
Yeah.
I found that those are the instruments that speak to me. Having 9,000 variables that I can control like a god in Pro Tools is nothing compared to finding just the right sample in the SK1 and then knowing that when you turn it off, it will never come back.
Never.
So, and you were part of that. Like I discovered so much of that and we had so much fun. But I want to tell a story about you that it's something that I owe you for. I owe you greatly. When we had our SK1 cabin experience where we all went to that, I can't remember where it was north of Houston.
Sam Houston.
Was it Sam Houston State
Park?
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know. They had the cabin? Yeah.
Yeah. And we recorded ourselves, and we had friends, and it was fun. And we played a song. I wish I could remember the name of it, but I played a bass riff in it, and you
Kawasaki Green,
and you told me how great that bass line was, and that you didn't know that I had that in me. I was like, I didn't know I had that in me. It was probably a fucking mistake. And to this day, that gave me more confidence about playing bass. And I've played probably more bass than I have guitar.
Really?
Yes, and that was the inflection point. And to have your praise when I held your musicianship in such high esteem, like really kind of like knocked down a door or two for me. So thank you for that.
I'm audibly responding to the sickness of your fill on the recording.
That's exactly right.
I was like, it was so the perfectly placed fill, the perfect grit, the perfect dig into the strings, the perfect it was just like, what?
Isn't that funny? I mean, I'm glad you remember it, because it was really important to me. And I don't think I've ever had a chance to like tell you in this way. Thank you.
I'm touched.
You should be. I'm touched telling you. It's how many human experiences do you have like that, where you only learn the value much later on, can actually trace it back to an inflection point, and then can tell the person, I love you for that. Thank you so much. You made my life go in a different direction.
Yeah. Influenced each other through support or through appreciation.
It was the counterbalance to the dishwasher comment of my mom. It finally evened out. It bumped my self-worth as a bass player up to where I could compete on a level playing field with my mom saying bad things about me being a musician.